are going that way in other countries. Like you were talking the other day about the fast food worker in Denmark. And when I went back to work and I was telling my coworkers about it, their minds were blown. And they absolutely had to go Google it. They just didn't believe that it was possible. And that these countries aren't drowning in debt at the same time that they're, providing for their citizens.
Right.
And it really starts to get people worked up. And I always seal the deal now with something Phil Donahue had said on your show a couple weeks ago. He kind of blew over it like it wasn't a big deal, but I think it's profound, and if you explain it to people, it really does make a difference. And that was that we really can have whatever kind of government we want. If we wanted to be a dictatorship, we could vote that into happening. And people just, I don't think they realize how much sway we can actually have, how much we can change the status quo. They're used to it, and they're defeated by it, and they don't have the concept that things really can be better. So I think if we want to sell them on revolution, we need to sell them on how things could be,
and we can use how they were as the basis for that. It's a brilliant point. I work with a lot of millennials and Gen Xers, and it's astonishing to me how astonished they are when I tell them, how, basically what life was like in the 60s, 70s, and the early 80s. It's just they just really, you quit your job easily because you knew that wherever you went you could find a job. Really? John,
tell a 19-year-old that they don't have college tuition in Germany, and that blows their minds.
Right, or that we didn't have college tuition in the United States in the 1970s.
Exactly.
I mean, it was, John, thank you for the call. Dan, you want to comment on that?
Yeah, I think his observation that he wants to inform people to raise their expectations by studying the 1960s, let's take that logic and go back to the early 19th century and look at the 1790s up through about 1805 or 10, and all of a sudden you find out that it was that time in 1800 when Jefferson put together the basic machinery for our changing of our leadership and for our 4-year presidential elections. Up until that time, no society in history had been able to change the administration of power without bloodshed and a major struggle. We were the first ones to do this. That is about as revolutionary as one can imagine in human affairs. And so Jefferson's genius about revolution was able to figure out a way, along with Madison, to make sure that we had continually
hang on, Dan. Hang on.
Yeah, okay.
You're listening to the Thom Hartmann Program. Call 866-987-THOM.
It's our Thom Hartmann University Book Club. Our book, The American Revolution of 1800. The author, Dan Sisson, will be back with Dan after this break.